Hello and welcome to On Your Lane. This is a best place for ambitious people who are taking charge of their lives, making that impact, making that income, and living fulfilling lives. And I am so excited to have you here today. We're going to talk about building profitable relationships. Yes, we're talking about building the right circle. Why? Because it matters who is surrounding you. This is an overused quote, but it rings true for me. If you're surrounded by five broke people, guess who's the sixth one? If you're surrounded by five successful people, guess who's the sixth one? We have a tendency as people to conform to the community around us. And this is why when people try to step away from that community, we have this punishment that we put on them. When somebody tries to paint their house red when our neighborhood is a neutral colored neighborhood, we will put some punishment on them, like to control them. When everybody is an accountant, we have corporate jobs, and somebody says, I want to be like an entrepreneur, we'll do something to show them that we're not pleased with them and keep them in check. That's what community does. And that's why community is very influential, because it has the power to move people forward, but also the power to block you, because we want to belong. That's one of the main needs of humans, to belong. And the people we belong to then get a say in how we live our lives. And if you look around you, you find that there is a lot of influence of the community you're in, the circle you're surrounded by, the friends you have. Chances are you have the same habits. You like the same things. You do the same things. Because if you like shopping and all your friends love saving, you find that you don't connect so deeply. You can't have common points of connection or joy together, which are really the points that bond you together. You have limited those. You have those limited, and therefore it affects the intimacy that you build. So the Bible says it nicely, iron sharpens iron. And it says the companion of fools will be destroyed. It's true. Because if all your friends are jumping off a cliff, it's hard for you to say, okay, maybe I shouldn't jump. Be like, okay, let's jump. It's fun. It looks fun. If all your friends are going into a bus on a trip, it has the power to influence you. And I noticed this on me the other day. My friend has an organized, clean house. When I went to her house, coming back to my house made me want to fix my house. She didn't say anything, but just me going there had that kind of influence. Now, if you have a nasty house and you have 10 other friends with nasty houses, you go there, you see what you see, and you're cool with it, and you find that you're okay in the nastiness around you. So you're not improving in your life because everyone around you is on the same level. So it's important for you to take a time out and be intentional and say, who am I surrounding myself with? What are the habits they have? Because those are the habits you have. That's where you're going. That's where you stay. If all of them are stuck somewhere, you are just joining them to be stuck there as well. That's the truth. So how do you build a profitable, enriching circle? First of all, you have to define your destination, know your purpose. Because how do you define what is profitable? What is profitable to you might not be profitable to me. Maybe you're building a career, or I'm building a business. Maybe you want a business that is profitable in your country. Maybe I want a multinational business. Those are different things. And those are different calls of life, different lifestyles. And they'll demand different things from each one of us, different disciplines. I remember sitting with a friend and we were talking the other day, and I was like, well, depending on the purpose that I have, there are some things I can't do. They're okay for other people because their purpose is different. But because of my purpose, there's certain music I can't listen to. There are certain books I can't read, even though I want to. But I know my destination. So it really controls what I do and can do. And in the same way, when you know your destination, then you will know that this circle is mismatched for that. You have some friends, like I grew up in the hood, like hood. And in the hood, there were these traits where, people stay loyal to each other. We stay loyal. We are from together. That's what we used to say. We're from together. So we have to stay loyal to each other and stuff like that. But you find that your friends are stuck in a certain system. They want to be there. They want to complain. They don't want to change anything. And you're in a different place and you're like, you know what? I want to change. I want to grow. I want to have more money. I want to have more influence. And they're like, yo, now you're changing on us. You're being different. No, you can't be like that. And then they're being like, you've become brand new. Why? Because you're trying to improve yourself. You see, so there are some friends that are for a season. Not that you should diss them and think I'm better than them. But you just have to understand that if you're going to the left and your friend is bent on going to the right, it's okay to say, we agree to disagree. I wish you all the best on your journey and go your way. You don't have to say, okay, now because you're going to go to the left, I want to go to the right, or you want to go to the right, I want to go to the left. Let's just go to the middle. No, nobody wins with that. Everybody's missing their purpose with that. So it's important for you to identify and be clear on your destination because it will determine what you have to leave behind, including the friendships you have. The second thing you should do is assess your current circle. Assess them. Just write down the habits of your circle, how far they're going, what is success according to them, whatever issues matter to you. Write them down. How do they live their lives? Yeah, for me, it's important to build a business. For me, it's important to build my faith. I'm not saying I don't connect with people who are not building business, but we're talking about the inner circle here. We're talking about people who you share deeply with. Okay, so you want to have the same destination, at least the same values, right, that guide your life. So assess those things. What are these people doing? Right? If all of them are complaining, if all of them are stuck in their jobs and they're not doing anything about it, then it makes it okay for you to be stuck too. And when you're trying to unstuck, to get yourself removed and progress, they'll be offended by it. Because why? Because it shows them that you don't have to be stuck. You can make a change, and most people don't want to make a change. They just want to talk about the issues that are wrong. So assess the characteristics of your current circle. And at the same time, write down the ideal characteristics of the circle you want to build. What is the ideal friend? What characteristics do they have? I'm in the phase where I'm wanting friends that challenge me because I read so much and I speak so much. I usually have friends to pour into, very few to pour into me. And that's something I have to intentionally cultivate. It won't just happen to me. And in the past, I'll just be like, oh, I want this and do nothing about it. But now I'm being intentional in my prayer, intentional with my positioning, so that I can have people who I can be quiet before and say, wow, I'm learning from them. Oh my goodness, you have raised these kids. Oh my goodness, you have built this business. Like different aspects of their lives that are ahead of me so that I can learn from them and be able to expand my influence, expand my knowledge, expand my reach in life. Now that you have assessed your circle, and at the same time you have listed the ideal characteristics of your circle, edit your circle. Eh? Not easy, hey? But it's important. You have to edit. And editing sounds harsh because you're like canceling people, but you don't have to cancel. For me, when I was doing this edit for myself, I realized there was a lot of my family in there. So I didn't want to cut out my family, but I wanted to reduce the time we spent together talking about specific things. If your family gossips a lot, you might want to change the subject and direct the attention to the right place. And sometimes it's just like, okay, I think I spend too much time with you guys. I'm spending like all day with you guys. You're contaminating me. I am in a space where I need to grow. And you're like, okay, I'll spend an hour. You still love them, you still support them. But in this moment, you're vulnerable, you're building something. So you need to be surrounded by positive influences. You don't know how many people are stagnant in their lives. They want to make more money, but they could have. But because their circle was limiting, because they didn't edit their circle was the one which was blocking them and throwing stones in their path. So they were sabotaged and they stayed in there. They're like, okay, now we're all the same. Let's not grow. You don't want that. So be brave enough, bold enough to edit your circle. Don't be loyal to people above being loyal to your purpose, above being loyal to God. That will just lead to frustration. That will just lead to regrets in the future. So give yourself a fair chance and edit that circle. Edit it. Edit that circle. The next thing you have to do is intentionally cultivate new friendships. Like I was saying, it's my desire right now to intentionally place myself in places online and offline where I am learning from other people. If you're building a business and your business makes $5,000 and all your friends make like $1,000, you look like you're balling. You're like, ooh, I'm balling. Until you sit down with people who are making 100,000 and you're like, okay, talk to us. How do you do it? That's important. They're pulling you up. I'm not saying abandon the other friends, but if you have somebody pulling you up, you have the potential to pull others up. You don't want to just be pouring in your relationships or just be chilling in your relationships. You need some energy in your vision that allows you to then pull others and transform your space as well. So cultivate the right relationships. Be intentional. I have this friend because wow, their family is together. I want to learn how to do that. Wow, they have raised these amazing teenagers. I want to do that. I was looking at my pastor the other day and I was like, wow. Well, when I say my pastor, I have a number of pastors, but this one has teenagers that are amazing. And I was like, I want to read everything he writes about kids because how did he do that? How does he raise a kid that is super behaved, that loves Jesus like that? I was like, I want to learn from that. See, that's me cultivating my circle. And sometimes we think when I say circle, it means we hang out, we're besties. No, sometimes it's just me putting myself under their learning, reading all their books, listening to all their sermons, like attaching myself so that I can learn a specific thing. When it's physical, it's more powerful, I admit. But you can't use that as an excuse to say, okay, no, I can't find anybody, so I'll just be. No, with these times of technology, you can reach out and connect with people beyond your current geographic location. So it becomes powerful. Be intentional. When you see people that have something that you like, be intentional to attach, to ask, to reach out so that you can learn and grow and cultivate relationships that will propel you forward. Key to that cultivating of new friendships for me has been prayer. Like I pray. Some of my friends that I have right now, I prayed for. I remember in uni, I saw this friend of mine, and I was like, she wasn't my friend then. I looked at her and I was like, I love how she is like focused and grounded. Lord, I pray she becomes my friend. And I left it. And I'm bubbly and noisy. She wasn't that. So it was hard for us to meet somewhere. But she's one of my closest friends now. Prayer works. And then I remember another girl. She was really classy and nicely put together. And I was like, I admire her. That's nice. And she was also quiet. So I was like, I want to be friends with her. And when there was an opportunity to talk to her, I talked with her. She was very quiet though. So there wasn't that chemistry that we could carry on. But I prayed. And she's one of my closest friends too. Whoop, whoop. So I know that prayer works. So cultivating friendships starts with prayer. Prayer does work. The next thing is to not be selfish, be generous, serve. Sometimes you just need to say, I love what you're doing, I could help you this way. I love this work, can I support you this way? Without anything in return, like without saying, what can you do for me? That's how you also cultivate friendships. Be a giver. The other thing is make time. Sometimes we want a friendship to grow that we're not investing in. Make time. Because you're loyal to your previous friends, sometimes you're giving them more time than the ones you want to cultivate. It won't work. Right? What you give time to flourishes. So if you want to cultivate these good friendships, make time for them. The other thing you can do is be in the right places. Don't be caught up in a club looking for from holy friends or something like that. Don't be caught up in the market looking for corporate friends. Like people go to places for a reason, right? So if you find me at a show, I'm there because I enjoy that. People don't randomly find themselves in places. So if you are looking for a business mentor, it's smart to be finding yourself in places where business people gather. It's smart to be finding yourself in spiritual places where people who are spiritual gather if you're looking for a spiritual mentor or spiritual friendship. It's just smart. I'm not saying you will not find the wrong people there, but I'm just saying just position yourself there, gives you the opportunity to have the people you're looking for in your proximity. Ultimately, friendships matter. Friendships are pearl. Friendships are powerful. How far you go and how far you don't go will be heavily influenced by the friendships you make. And it's really within your power to change your life just by changing the friendships. One thing that I like to say is that if you want to change something in your life, go to a community or a circle of friends that normalize that thing. So you want to wake up early in the morning, for example, or you want to start reading books. All your friends don't do that. Just join a group of people who value reading. For them, reading is normal. Just be around them long enough. You'll be surprised how fast you adopt that habit. It's really powerful. We tend to level up to the people we are with. And so if you are reached a ceiling in this level, level up again. Get certain friends that pull you up so you can pull the rest up as well. I hope this was helpful for you. Like, share, subscribe, and let's grow this community so that we can have the right circle online. Yes, like-minded people who are building big. And if you want to get deeper, I invite you to check out the Purpose Masterclass. You want to know why you exist. You want to be intentional about moving towards it and editing your friendships so that they are helping you move towards purpose. Check out this class. It will be amazing. I'm over here on Tuesdays with a video. Again, I show up on Thursday with a podcast. So check that out and let's make a date every week. And also check me out on social media. Mavis Tanizo Kanjata. I'm everywhere. And if you need, I am everywhere. I can't wait to talk to you next week. All right then, win in your life. Bye bye.